What's up, Fight fans, and welcome back to another Contender Series breakdown here on the Vegas Odds YouTube channel. I'm your host, the fight analyst Garrett Kerman, and with me, as always, is my man Joe Danger himself, Jesse Hobson. What's up, man? How's it going?
What if I did the whole show like this?
It looked great, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
think you should just kind of just move in a little bit.
Yeah, it's like I look pretty good. I mean, might as well. The only reason I'm not going to do it is because of this, three wolf moon. But we'll do what we
Nice.
can, beautify this show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's what you're here for. You help to make the show just beautiful to look at, right?
That's the story. That's the name of the game. Something like that.
Well, moving on. We're on the heels of arguably the knockout of the century, arguably one of the greatest knockouts in the history of MMA. Of Leon Edwards knocking out Kamaru Usman at the most opportune time when all things were going against him. Came back from hell and knocks this man clean out. What a performance!
Yeah, it pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. I got some really good prop bets, what was it, round 4 or 5 in decision, and then I also had I got Usman live minus 165 after round 1. Holy shit! Yeah, so the only cool thing to come out of this was a really neat TikTok where someone edited in the Rocky sound.
Yeah.
And his coach is yelling at him between and I'm just like, okay, this justifies it. Maybe a little more expensive than I would have preferred, but yeah, I'm gonna bet my entire bankroll on Usman in the rematch.
Yep.
When your boy is calling Dana White in the middle of a press conference promising to kill him, I'm gonna put money on that guy. So I don't care what the line is, all in on Usman. Thank God I didn't do it this time because I have in the past against Jorge. I have in the past, but I don't know, man. Pretty suck.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked for me too. I had Usman winning. He was about 50 or so seconds away from winning, and then the perfectly placed feint to left high kick. It was just a thing of beauty, and not much really can do about it. But if I say so myself, that's a little bit of a fluke. I know people are trying to say it's not a fluke because it was a perfect technique, and I understand that. But you have to think about it this way. Would he ever again against Usman land that kick the same exact way at the same exact opportune time when he's down 3.5 rounds to 1? Will he ever do that in the same exact scenario ever again? The answer is no. So therefore, that is a fluke scenario.
I mean, also when you're not even making eye contact with your coach, body language. I mean, there was a lot going into that. Even I mean, Edwards can say what he wants. I think even he was stunned. In all seriousness, and no pun intended. I think no one expected that. Even him. It was just like they say with basketball players that kind of just practice that free throw. Probably the same thing, the same kick he practices every day, in, day out. And, he just threw it, not expecting much. Whatever, let's finish this out. Sign me up for the Jorge fight, and then let's keep trucking.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I feel like it was something that would never happen again. I know everybody's talking about how he'll have probably better cardio in the next fight. I don't see that. I know it was at, elevation and high altitude, but he's not notoriously having great cardio. He was fading against Nate Diaz for punching Nate, he was fading in that fight, in a fight where it was completely lopsided. He was winning. There was no really pushback, and he was fading in that fight. So I don't think the cardio will get any better, but we're not here to talk about that fight. We're here to talk about Contender Series Week 5. We're coming off our first losing night of the entire season so far. We're 3-1, profitable on the season, and we're looking to get back on track. So we're going to start off in the women's strawweight division between Denise Gomes and Ryan Amanda. Right now, Gomes minus 255, and the comeback on Amanda's plus 215. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, it's weird. Money is coming in on Amanda, and I'm not really sure why. Once you dig a little bit into it, you can see she only beats people with horrible or no record. Pretty much anyone that they don't find from the parking lot, she loses to. Gomes is bigger, younger, faced better competition. She just seems to this just seems to be a good matchup for her. I don't really understand the love for Amanda. Yeah, that's really it. My pick and play is going to be Denise. Obviously, you kind of hinted that to me, earlier today, but the more I dug into it, the more it just made sense.
Yeah, I agree, obviously, because look at the skill level that she's facing. I mean,
Yeah.
in her last fight alone, she faced an Invicta FC veteran who had 20, I think about 20 fights under her belt, or at least close to it. And that alone is better than anybody Amanda has faced in her entire career. Amanda, I think her last 5 opponents, actually her last 5 wins had 0. All of her opponents had 0 wins. Her last 6 wins all had 0 wins. Okay, so she's not beating anybody with even a win on the record, let alone fights under their belt. What we've seen from her, she gets hit a ton. She gets out volumed on the feet. She doesn't have great wrestling. She's got elite jiu-jitsu. She's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu world champion. She's a high level, BJJ black belt, but she's also been sub before.
Yep.
Against somebody who's not good. So, and she's always armbar or bust. She either gets the armbar or she loses position, and then she gets pounded out. She gets back to her feet. She gets beat up on the feet. Gomes got way more power. She's fought through adversity and won, whereas Amanda's never fought through adversity to win. She's always been either been the hammer or the nail. She's never been the nail and then come back and win. Where Gomes did that. You know what I mean? Like, it's either she's dominating the fight or she's getting dominated. There's no in between.
Well, when you fight people with 0, 0, and 0, it's, I mean,
her last 6 wins was like the combined record was 0-7.
Yeah, that's all I really had to see, honestly. I mean, I looked at them. I watched a little bit of tape, but it kind of seems like fairly obvious.
Yeah, I know. And Gomes trains out of the better camp. Her girlfriend is Carol Hosa, who's a bantamweight contender, who's very good, high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner. Gomes is a purple belt in BJJ. And it's pretty much going to come down to if Amanda can get the takedown and land the armbar. If she doesn't get the takedown and land the armbar, she loses. Period. She has no chance of winning the fight on the feet. She has no chance in the clinch because Gomes is a Muay Thai striker. She's very good in the clinch with her knees, her elbows. She's very strong there. She's also fought majority of her entire career at 125. Her only loss is at 135 pounds in her professional debut against a veteran in the sport that was an 8-fight veteran who was actually pretty good and fought for Invicta. So I think Gomes all day here. I know it's not a flashy price at -250. Maybe you can wait a little bit for people to start betting on Amanda because for a BJJ and yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, let's be honest. This should be Gomes' fight all day, and she should run away with this.
Yeah, I think right now is the time to pounce because this morning it was at -225. So I don't know how long this -255 will even last. So I mean, even if you wanted to stack it with another one of these plays on the card, this feels pretty safe.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, we got a fight in the bantamweight division between Josh Wang Kim and Cameron Simon. Right now, the line is set at -230 for Kim. The comeback on Simon +195. Who do you got?
Yeah, Wang Kim has a pretty good amateur record. He's seen the bright lights. He's faced the tough opponents. He should also be undefeated. I don't know if you got to watch the fight. That was kind of a weird one, right?
I mean, I understand it, but you can't just call the DQ off of it because the guy got up and charged at him. So where's it a DQ? There was no type of warning, and he didn't repeatedly do it. It should have been either a no contest or they keep going. That's it.
Yeah, it was really it was a weird call. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks too because it's like a blemish on his record, I guess you could say. Cameron's fresh off of training camp and just went to a decision not too long ago. So who knows if that will actually hurt or help him here. Couldn't really see a lot of footage. I looked, but apparently a lot of it's behind a paywall. And, what I did see, though, I did see highlights. That's cool, I guess. Even from the highlights that I did see, Kim is, by far the better fighter on the feet. I think this Kamen kid, I think he has a future, or Saman, sorry. I think he has a bright future, but maybe a little too early. I think Wayne Kim has seen and, fought through a lot more than this Cameron kid has even thought of, because of which I'm going to have to side with Wayne Kim just because I feel like Saman just isn't as polished as Wayne Kim. Potentially, I think Josh could be like one of my new favorite fighters. I love his style. I love the way he stands and fights. Him and his brother are pretty decorated fighters. I think it's his brother, either his brother or his cousin. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this fight just because I think Wang will probably, get the showcase that a lot of people are hoping for here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty confident in Kim, and I think we're getting a good price on him. I think he should be one of the higher favorites on this card. Cameron, he's good. He's got a good skill set. He got a lot of promise. He is a good prospect, but he's super young at 21 years old and only 5-0. Yes, he trains with Dricus du Plessis over in South Africa, but he's faced extremely terrible opposition over in South Africa. He's never left South Africa, so now he's got to travel across the world and fight on the biggest stage of his entire career against the toughest opponent in his entire career. And then you look at Kim, he's 14-1 as an amateur. Technically, he should be 6-0 as a pro. He's got really good range with his, karate style, kind of like a Wonder Boy. He's able to come in and out of range very well. He's a very good submission threat on the mat. What I don't like, he's more submission over position, so he tends to lose positions, but he's attacking at all costs. Off his back, on top of you, he's going for your neck, he's going for triangles, he's going for arm bars, he's slicing you up with elbows. He's always going to be attacking you on the feet or on the mat. Cameron, on the other hand, he's got some power, he's got some good grappling as well. But what I don't like about him is he leaves himself open for counters all throughout the fight. He does a weird running calf kick that I've noticed, and every single time he's throwing it, he's getting countered off of it. It's just like one of those things that you read very, very fast on him. He'll do it a lot, and then you just counter with the right hand. That's what his opponent did very early in his, I think, second to last fight. And he has that weird style of striking, kind of like a Dricus du Plessis, but not at his elite level, at least not yet. I just think this is too big of a step up, too early for him. And then I think Kim's gonna just kind of big brother him, show him that, there's levels to this. Granted, I'm only 6 fights in pro, but I was 15 fights as an amateur. He's got so much more experience than him. He's going to get the job done and catch for us. Moving on, our next fight up is in the flyweight division between Eryk Ferreira and Jesus Santos Aguiar. The line is set at Eryk minus 200, Aguiar plus 170. Who do you got?
So Eryk, he's been on the Contender Series before. He's really only beat one decent guy, and that was the guy he faced last time. Ferreira is a striker. He doesn't strike a lot, but thinking about that, he was outstruck in his last fight from what I remember, and I believe he still won. And while he did stuff a few takedowns, he doesn't have the best takedown defense either. Initially, I figured Aguilar would wrestle to a boring decision win, but after seeing the weigh-ins, I'm actually going to flip-flop here. Aguilar does have some gas issues in the past. Apparently, those have been resolved, but seeing these guys next to each other, I don't think Ferreira will have an issue stopping those takedowns and handling Aguilera on the feet. So I am flip-flopping. In the beginning, I was all about the underdog here, but seeing these two guys face to face, considering their skill set, I'm going to have to side with Eryk Ferreira, the silver pick and play of the fight. I think that this is going to play out exactly how you think it does.
Yeah, I agree. I think Eryk gets the job done. I think he's a much better striker. I think he's faster with his hands as well, much more powerful on the feet. He wings heavy, heavy hooks. And I feel like Aguilar is there to hit at all times. He's not good on the feet. He's not defensively sound. He's got good grappling, some good jiu-jitsu, but it's not enough to get past the striking of Eryk, because I think Eryk has got, good takedown defense enough against this guy. And then he's got, I think, about a 7-inch reach advantage, if I'm not mistaken. So he's much bigger, much longer. He'll be able to, keep him on the outside, use his jab, use his hooks, and possibly put him away inside 2 rounds.
I don't disagree. Like I said, I think that the guy that Eryk faced last time, he's been kind of doing really well.
That kid is good. Like he should be in the UFC. That kid his striking is nasty.
Well, and he also stuffed takedowns from him. And like I said, I went back and watched some of these Aguilar fights, and his gas tank has been resolved. But I mean, who's to say that it won't hold up now? I mean, I just don't see getting
Contender Series is different. With Contender Series, it's a different animal. That gas tank just goes right out the door.
They're going to be looking for the finish too, and then let's say they both get exhausted, like they're both on their deathbed, round 3, Luke Rockhold. I would still, I would put my money on Harrison. I think that he gets it done, finds the face, finds the chin, gets him out of there.
Agreed. Moving on, our next fight up is in the welterweight division between Amari, Gogolotsi, and Darius Flowers. Right now, Gogolotsi minus 275 to come back on Flowers, plus 230. Who do you got?
Yeah, this is a showcase fight if I've ever seen one. And while it does appear that Darius, has kind of turned his career around of late, if you click his image there and scroll down a little bit, you'll see that this guy is the definition of spotty. Amarian, he has faced solid competition and has looked pretty good doing it. Only loss is coming via decision. But I honestly and highly doubt we see the scorecard here. Gola, whatever the hell you say his name is.
Gogolotsi.
Gogolotsi. I like it. Sounds like an Italian dish. Gogolotsi, he'll find the finish. It's just a matter of time. I don't think that this other guy, the Flowers guy, man, I feel like they just kind of plucked him out of Iowa. Like, like who the fuck who fights in Iowa? I guess you have nothing else better to do, but I mean, I feel like they just picked a random name out of a hat for this guy to finish. That's the God honest truth here. And he looked all like Street Fighter-esque, at the weigh-ins, but I mean, that's all show. He's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a showcase fight for Gogolotsi. Just to get another Georgia fighter on the roster. And he's got
to say it like that. You got to say Gogolotsi.
But as far as this fighter goes, he's pretty well rounded. He's got a good top game. He's got diverse striking, much more diverse than Flowers. Flowers is is a heavy puncher. He's coming down from 185 to 170. So I expect his gas tank to be even worse than it's shown in the past. I don't think he's ever fought at 170 before. He's fought as high as 200 pounds in boxing not too long ago, but he's normally a 185er coming down to 170. I think Gogolotsi it's going to be a lot faster. He's going to be a lot faster. He's going to be a lot more powerful. He's going to be able to stay on the outside. We're talking about 5 inches of height and about the same in reach as well. So ultimately, I got Gogolotsi.
That's it. There you go.
With a knockout. Fan
proud. Make a fan proud.
All right. Moving on to our featured bout for this week's Contender Series. We have a fight in the heavyweight division between Eduardo Neves and Michael Parkin. Right now on the line set at minus 260 for Neves. The comeback for Parkin plus 20.
This is a huge test for Parkin, and like a lot of other fights on this card, the underdog is, hasn't really beat anybody. It's usually people with horrible records or no records. Neves is a brawler, and despite being the smaller of the two, I think he gets it done early. I wanted to find a dog. I really dug deep, man. But the more I even looked into this one, Neves has faced the better competition, and his style. While it is pretty freaking dicey, it has seemed to pay off, especially lately. He kind of gets the other guy, the opponent, to kind of like come and brawl with him, and more often than not, maybe not more often than not, every time he finds the knockout. And Parkin, he's just another dude. Like, he's a big dude that likes to throw hands, but Neves just kind of has. I think he's going to be the winner here. That's really it. I wish I had more analysis, but there's not much here. It's just knockout, round 1, Neves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavyweight fight. You know what you're going to get. You got 2 guys that can take each other's heads off. They're both 5-0. Both got punching power. Literally, either one of them could probably, get either one of them out of there. But ultimately, I think Neves is just the better of the two. I think he's going to have the more opportunities to land the harder shots, and I think he's going to have the better chin of the two. And I think he's a little bit more polished, and I think he's faced the better competition. There's really not much else to this because they're both going to go in there. This essentially could be a 50-50 fight where either one of these guys can land a kill shot, but ultimately I think the one that does land a kill shot.
Did you see the video of him like elbowing that guy in the face, and then he gets up and points at him? Like he like murdered this dude's face, right? And he gets up and fight, point the guy's face, and then like the camera kind of like sways back to the guy covered in blood, like old school Ric Flair, like looks fake. And then the ref is like, "Oh no, oh no." I'll have to send it to you, bro. It is. I mean, but that's the thing. Parkin also did the same thing, but it wasn't as brutal. So I'm just like, I like the Neves kid, the blood, the Ric Flair. I mean, the whole package here.
All right, that's what we got for you guys for this week's Contender Series breakdown, week 5. We're looking to cash out this week. Hopefully, we get back on track, but I believe we got some winners here, and we're gonna keep it trucking.
Go look at Daisy. Is that how you say it? Go look at Daisy?
It's Gogolotsi.
Gogolotsi.
That's what we got for you guys for this week. Please go like and subscribe over at the Vegas Odds YouTube channel, and we'll be back as always next week.